Okay, this lesson for the Koine Project Class again addresses once primed, always primed, why a Calvinist who identifies himself as that will tout regeneration precedes faith. And you have to remember that when they were primed and this construct was built, this fallible construct, the terminology of the script, there were a lot of words, let's say, missing, such as persuasion, the verb persuade. So let's look for just a moment what we can do in this Koine Project Class, just a very easy grammar class. This language is very highly inflected, and we've done these before, but you remember John the Baptist said, the one who is believing, so the one who is, and remember, already believing, into the Son. Remember, accusative case, object of the preposition ace. We on the Son. Eke is already having. Zoane, life eternal. Now, as you freehand these, you can work on your check it later, but get where you're freehanding it. You remember post-positive conjunction, but the one, and this is apathon, but the one who is negating. Now, when you're in the coffee shop, you won't be talking with any Calvinist that even writes these things out, would ever even heard of the negative, the alpha privative, negative particle, negating persuasion. And this is by the Son. You remember, you have people that have even, I've come across people who self-identify as Calvinists that say God doesn't even bother to persuade or to convince or to draw or anything with those that aren't the elect. So I don't know what that was about, but this says otherwise. Who is negating persuasion by the Son, uk not opsetai, will not see life, zoane. And then it's that word, but rather, of course, it's omitted there because of the next vowel, the orge, the wrath. So, but rather, the wrath, touted, of the God, mene, is already abiding and you have epi there, but the iota is dropped because of the vowel that precedes auton, him, upon him. So you notice this term persuasion, it wasn't even involved in the conversation. Thus today you'll still hear someone tout regeneration precedes faith, or men won't seek God unless they're first born again. Of course, they skip all of what the Bible actually says. They even teach that apart from the gospel, rather the Bible says through the gospel. And then remember, and I'll end here quickly, Luke 16:31. Now remember your grammar. Abraham is speaking in the parable that Jesus is teaching about a real account, however. Jesus probably attended the rich man's funeral, and the man had said things to Father Abraham about someone going back to his brothers, but he said, Abraham that is, But he said to him, remember the Yoda subscript, to him, since from Moses, from Moses, Kai, and from the prophets, from the propheton, from the prophets, uk, have that negative particle again, not, and then aku, from akuo, but it's usin here, o ace a omen eti usi, and it is usin. They are listening. So they are not listening. So he said to that rich man in hell, but to him he said, since they are not listening from Moses and the prophets, neither, sorry, wait a minute, eon, tis, if a certain one, and it's neither if a certain one on us day, on us day. Remember, ana's up and stasis is stand. One might stand up, ek, out from necron corpses. And then we have this word pace, face, ontai, future passive. Then it says here that he said to him, since from Moses and the prophets they are not listening, neither will they be persuaded. There we go. Now you'll notice that when you're maybe trying to have a conversation, you'll notice that if you have information that they lack, they always fall back on what they never advanced from. So they only have the same jargon to repeat. It becomes a tautology. So this is it. This is why once primed, always primed, why Calvinists continue to tout regeneration precedes faith. It's because this material was never part of the original source material out from which the construction of that fallible construct was made. Have a blessed day. Enjoy this lesson.